Hey everybody, Pat Armstrong here with an impromptu edition of Increase, the lifestyle vlog for men and the women who love them. As you can see, I am sitting here in the bathroom, and the reason I'm doing this is because I know right now during this time of the coronavirus, a lot of people are putting the emphasis on, during this time of stay-at-home orders and things, to basically to keep your routine as much regular as you can, as if you were going to work, if you work outside the home and whatever. And so today I thought about putting a video together just to show you kind of my get ready in the morning routine that I've tried for the most part to maintain during this time as well, and also some of the products that I use personally. And it takes a lot to look this good. And so I just wanted to show you some of the things that I do and some of the products that I use. When I get up in the morning and I start getting ready, if I shave, I usually do my shaving first thing. Now I shave every other day. And I used to shave every day, but it would just really tear up my face. And I've even tried to use electric razors in the past, and they really tear up my face. And so I shave with a razor, and the razor that I prefer, and I've actually mentioned this before in some of the other videos that I've done, is the Mach-3 razor by Gillette. And I've tried a lot of different razors. That's the one I always keep coming back to. The only problem is the Mach-3 is kind of expensive. And so you're going to find with me as well that I am frugal, if that's the right word. I am cheap, and so I buy a lot of my products at the Dollar Tree. And but I found that with that in mind, a lot of the products that you get, especially men, if you're buying products that have a men's label on it and there's no problem with that, just keep in mind that it's really the same product that's in just the regular labeled stuff, the lady stuff, whatever. They just put it in a gray bottle instead of, you know, whatever. So anyway, so as I said, I usually start off first of all by shaving, and that's what I do first. And as you can see, I've got my Mach-3 handle. I just do not have any blades for it right now, so I'm using a Bic, and I hate it. I hate it, and I'm just, but again, being cheap, frugal, I will use all of them before I'll go spend the money to go get new blades. I do still use a cup and a brush when I lather up, and so I do have a little bit of soap still left in here, and I use that to lather up my face, and then I shave, and that's what I start off with. After I get into my shave, then I take my shower. It's kind of like the shaving. I've got a routine that I do every other day. Now I take a shower every day, but the routine that I do on the day that I shave, I wash my hair, I use a face wash, and then I actually use a bar of soap when I wash my body. I don't really care for body washes. I feel like they don't lather up very good, or they lather up real well on the loofah, but then when you go to wash yourself, to me, I feel like it all stays on the loofah. This is something that I use. It's like a loofah, and this is something that my daughter actually found. And as I said before, I use bar soap. What I like about this, it's cool because you can open it up and put bar soap on the inside of it. And so when you do that, and then you zip it back up, then you put this under the water, and this lathers up really well. You get the same exfoliating as the loofah, but the cool thing is that there's always soap because the soap is on the inside. On my every other day in the shower, I don't wash my hair. I just use a bar of soap and a washcloth to basically wash me off. So the one day I wash my hair, I use a face wash, and then I use that loofah. The other day I just use a bar of soap and a washcloth, and I alternate those every other day. As far as using a conditioner in my hair, I only condition my hair once a week because my hair is so short. Well, right now it's not. My hair is a lot longer than it normally is because nobody's open and I can get my hair cut. But I usually use a conditioner on my hair once a week on Sundays normally, And that's for guys with short hair. They say that's enough conditioner there. The shampoo and things I use, I like Dove Men's Care. And again, I know what I said before about the Dove products, or about the men's products. So sometimes I do use regular Dove products, and I also like some of the Suave products as well. Once I get done with my shower and I come here to the sink, just like I do when I take a shower, I start my getting ready routine from my head down to my feet. And so I start up here and just work my way down. So the first thing I do is I get out and I comb my hair. And I do have a comb and a brush that I use. And the brush a lot of times will give you more volume when you use that. But most of the time I use my comb. And something that I just started using recently is a sea salt spray. This is a pre-style sea salt spray put out by Pete and Pedro by a friend of mine by the name of Aaron Marino. And this stuff is great because it's a good pre-styler. It adds some volume to your hair. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I run out of this, because this stuff's like $7 a bottle. So if I can't find something to replace this, then I'll have to obviously get another bottle. But this stuff is great. And this is the first thing I do. I spray this in my hair. Then I take my comb. And then I just kind of comb my hair all back and everything and let it dry while I go on to the next step, which is taking care of my face. And then what I do next is I put my contact lenses in so I can see what I'm doing. And one of the products I do want to recommend to you, if you wear contact lenses, it's OPTI-FREE Pure Moist. I have wore glasses since I was in the 5th grade. I didn't start wearing contacts till I was a junior in high school. And through all those years, though, I have used a lot of different contact lens solutions. And the doctor, last time I went, actually recommended something to me. I don't even remember what it is, but it was something that was supposed to help when you soak it to take the protein and stuff off your contacts. And then when you put it back in, it's supposed to be like a new pair of contacts. I personally didn't care for this stuff. They still kind of felt gritty after I soaked them in that. My wife at the time was using this, and what was crazy is the same doctor recommended this to her. And so I asked her one time if I could just try this. And I tried it once and I got hooked. Because this stuff, I mean, they do. It just takes, when you soak it in this, the next day they still feel just as fresh as a new pair of contact lenses. So it's OPTI-FREE Pure Moist. So after I put my contact lenses in and I can finally see, then like I said, I work down from there. So I'll go ahead and brush my teeth and floss my teeth and then use a mouthwash. When I brush my teeth, there's only one toothbrush that I care for, and that is the Colgate medium bristle toothbrush. I just feel like it's the right size head, and I like the stiffer bristles. I know it's probably not good for you, but I do like the stiffer bristles. I feel like that gets the best clean for me. As far as toothpaste, I do like the Colgate whitening toothpaste. That's my preferred. But then I came across one of these because honestly, I was not a good person about flossing my teeth. One of the reasons why I wasn't was I didn't care for trying to work the floss around and all this kind of stuff in my mouth. And even the little flossers that you get, I tried those for a while, but I still didn't like the angle and everything. And somebody gave this to me, and it's actually put out by Reach. And there's other companies that put this out too. But what I really like about this, it's shaped like a toothbrush, but you see the end of it here, the head, it's got the floss on it. But you can actually stick it in your mouth without having to, like that. So the angle for this thing is fantastic. So I really like this. This is put out by Reach. And like I said, there are some other, Listerine actually puts one out, and some other brands actually puts one out, but it's a great flosser. And with that in mind, I like to use the multi-action whitening rinse that was actually, when we started getting this, we got it by Crest. But then Walmart actually has their own version of Equate of this. And this stuff is great. Great mouthwash and for disinfecting and also for whitening. And so this is great stuff here too. So I like that. While I'm got the rinse in my mouth and I'm rinsing out my mouth and everything, I actually will apply lotion to my face. And I've got two different lotions that I use, again, every other day. One that goes along with shaving, and that is an aftershave balm. Now this happens to be a Jimmy Choo, and actually came as part of a set with a cologne, and so I've been using that. But when I'm not using this, I actually use an AM face moisturizer put out by TIEGE HANLEY. Again, this is another product by my friend Aaron Marino, and but this is really good. And I make sure that I always have some kind of a moisturizer on my face when I shave, if I don't shave, and that's the way I use that. Also, after I do the moisturizing on my face, I go ahead and use lotion on my whole body. Now, I know for some people they're thinking that's kind of crazy for a guy to be doing that, but I'll tell you the reason why I started doing this was because when I lived out in Kansas, I did not realize how hot and dry it was out there. I mean, we had one summer where 40 straight days of triple-digit temperatures. Now, I thought only temperatures and weather like that was out maybe in Arizona, New Mexico, Southern California, way out there in the desert states. Never thought the plain states were like that. But one thing I found out real quick, man, it dried out my skin horribly. And so I had to get something to moisturize. I mean, I even had to get medical lotion because it dried me out so bad. So I had gotten into the habit of doing that. So even when we moved back here to Georgia, I continue to use lotion all over my body. And one of the things I was introduced to a long time ago by my wife was actually some lotion that has cocoa butter. And so this is really good. And like I said, I use it all over just to keep myself moisturized. And it helps a lot. So a habit that I developed a long time ago. And then after I've done all that, I spit out my mouthwash. I then apply my deodorant. And the deodorant that I use, well, I use a deodorant. I do not use an antiperspirant because the aluminum in the antiperspirant makes me break out. And it's not good for you anyway. So I find and I even have to be careful with some of the deodorants because they'll make me break out as well. So it's got to be something that's got kind of a clear, it can't be that powdery stuff. It's got to be kind of a gel clear thing. So that's what I use. This is actually, again, another one of those, when I worked at Dillard's, I got quite a few of these. This is another one of those gift set things where it's Aqua di Gio and part of a set. In fact, here's the cologne that goes with it. And so I use that. And then I will actually, every day, spritz on a cologne. I've got about 18 different bottles of cologne that I rotate out every day. And again, it's just a spritz. You put it in those pulse points on your neck, on your wrist, and your elbow, on the back of your knee, and those areas. You don't want to overpower with the scent. There's no reason for that. Another thing that I do use powder. And this was something that, you know, we got out of the habit of doing this. Our moms used to do this to us when we were babies to help us not get diaper rash and things like that. But the problem is, things haven't changed just because we've gotten older. It's still hot and moist down in that area. And one of the things that will help with that is a good powder. Now this one here is a non-talc powder. In fact, they use cornstarch in it. Now this is a baby powder, but it doesn't smell real. You can't really smell it once you put it on. Of course, if you're going to smell it this way, it smells like baby powder. But you can get a lot of other powders too that are cornstarch based that don't smell like baby powder. If you want to get, you can get some that are cooling and things like that. But this really helps. The other shaving brush right here that is used exclusively for powder. So what I do, you know, because ladies always had their powder puffs, but now what I do is I just take this and I put a little bit of powder in there, and then I just brush it on wherever it needs to go. And this works out really well. Another thing I do, you can see up here behind me, my shaving things. when I'm not using them, actually make nice decorations there too. So anyway, and then so we're almost done. The last thing that I have to do is my hair. And so I've already put the pre-styler in it and just kind of brushed it back. So now we're actually going to comb it in the way it needs to go. And I have to use hairspray. I have not found any product that works for me. I have tried gel, I have tried other things, but it always comes back to hairspray. And I invested in White Rain hairspray when I was in college, and I have never looked back. And so hairspray works the best for me. And my hair styling is in 3 parts. Like I said before, I use the pre-styler. Then after I get everything else done, then I come back and I take my comb and I spray some hairspray in my comb and then actually comb it to where it needs to be, so at least get its shape. And then once I go and put my clothes on and I'm ready to go, then I come back and do a final combing of the hair or brushing of the hair. Usually I use the brush at the very end to give me the most volume in my hair. So anyway, so again, talking about during this time about routines and things, I thought, well, this would be a perfect opportunity to just show you my daily routine as far as what all I do and some of the products that I use to get ready. If you like this video, you found it informative, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. And you tell me, maybe there are some products that you use that you really recommend, and I would really like to know. And if you would, just leave them in the messages down below. Thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.